Hi everyone. Now that the course is set up, you're all in the course and the class list is all set, I wanted to give you a quick run through on how to negotiate our new online classroom. So as things come up, I will definitely add other elements that you need to know, but here are the basics. So when you sign into the class, you will get to this home page. This home page will have the announcements for the day. It has the calendar of upcoming events, and if you don't want to look at that, all the time, you can hit the little arrow and then kind of take a look as you go along. So there are a couple of calendar options. You can go directly to a larger calendar. You'll go to a map, and that map will be explained a little bit in your activity on traditional territories, but the little indicator here, the flag, is where I am from originally, so you can take a look at that. I've thrown a little welcome video in here using Chatterpix, and then I go through in the announcements some of the things that you need to know. I link whenever I can to other parts of the course, but you shouldn't rely on those links. You should learn to be able to find the things you need in the course. Now, you probably won't have this icon, Course Admin, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what it looks like as a student, because I have extra powers. Oh, you do still see that. Well, there you go. So Course Home will take you to this front page. This little home button up here will take you to your original sign-in screen. You probably don't want to go there unless you're taking more than one online course. The content up here with the book is where you go to find the guts of the course. So along the side here, there is a table of contents, the course information where I want you to begin, the introductory activities that we're going to do for the next couple of days to get everybody comfortable, then the next units, and you get very bare bones look at those right now because this is the first time through the course and I want to see how it goes. So Unit 1 Identity will be available, I believe I said next Wednesday. So you've got a few days to get used to things and get some background information. So you can download stuff if you want. You can send it to your binder, which is something that I have never used, but it depends. You may like it, so you might want to click on that and see what's there. Usually I leave everything right on the course. So there are some introductory activities, and you can see that you can check on those. It also gives you some progress as you go through. So introductory activities are here, where I ask you to do a few things to get to know you. The first thing in the content every time will be a checklist. That checklist, you see this little thing here, will let you know what it is you need to do for that unit, what I'm expecting you to complete and submit. So, and then the rest are the actual activities that you do. And each activity might have some kind of a task attached to it, but that's listed there, and then you can also see it in this checklist that I'll provide for you. So before we get into this, let's go to where it says Start Here. Right now there's a video negotiating the course in its old kind of setup, and I'm going to replace that in a couple of minutes with this new course. There are two things that you should read. Don't skip over this, although to be honest, the course information is a little bit boring. The course information gives you like your course syllabus. So it goes through and lets you know that generally what our learning goals are going to be, and I'm going to make them more specific as we go through each activity, the weightings, the general rubric that the curriculum provides, the learning goals, the learning skills that we put on report cards, the things you'll need, some different policies. This is all that kind of stuff that teachers always give you. What kind of time you need, some tips for success, that kind of stuff. You really should read through that. I haven't rushed through this introductory stuff. I've given you a couple of days to get through it so that you can look through and kind of get the idea. Then you can go over and get to know me by clicking on here, and I've got a little bit of information about who I am as a teacher and that kind of stuff, a bit about office hours. So you should take a look there. This information is always available for you. And as you see, you can negotiate up here as well by clicking on these links. You can also, and I'll show you in the introductory activities, once you click on one, like the unit introduction, you can click through with the buttons here as well if you want. So there are a number of ways to navigate through the course. And then this is just an introduction, reminding you that these are interactivities, and I won't be assessing anything. So then, if you want, you can click through and take a look at the different activities. Here are some tasks to complete. Introduce yourself, complete a student information form. Oh, that picture's pixelated. Well, I'll try not to do that again. Some learning about traditional territories, and then identifying upon which territory you currently live. So there's a little video for you to watch, a little bit of vocabulary, that map I talked about that we're all going to add in our information to, so you can negotiate that way as well. So let's go back to course home. Here's where the Dropbox is located. Nothing is in the Dropbox for you yet, because we are just going through and taking a look at, a few of the skills and getting you kind of up to speed in the course. But when it comes time to Dropbox something, I'll make another short video about that. That's where you would hand in your assignments. Your grades, that's something we're going to talk about a little later on. I'm going to use this to get your grades to you, but it's not perfect. So it might just be a number. It's not going to be like a mark book printout or something. Quizzes, and we'll do some of these along the way. And then here is where you can access the checklists to let you know what's going on, as well as them being listed at the beginning of your activities. So if you're ever really stuck, assignments are all the things you're required to do and the stuff that goes along with it. You can find the checklists there. Discussions, we have a discussion beginning. I link it, but also you can find all of the discussion threads under discussions. There's a general board in case you've got something you want to talk about, like, wow, you went to see a new movie and it was pretty cool. Anybody else, what's with that Han Solo trailer, whatever. Introduce yourself is the one we're going to be working with, and that is linked in your assignments. There's a please help me where you put things if you do not understand what's going on in the course, and other students are encouraged to answer those. So you should be checking those general questions every day. If you find a link that's broken or something's messed up, put it in there, and that's sort of for me to technically fix any mistakes. The class list shows us who is here and is also how you email me or other people in the class. So you will see that I'm listed here, El Cote. I also have my board representative here because she helps me out with things sometimes. So you'll see that there's just a little dash there for Miss Clement, and that's because she sort of lurks for me if I'm not sure how things are working. So say you wanted to email me, you would click next to my name and you would hit email, and it will take you to the email section and you can send me an email. This is the only way you should be communicating with me. Just because it stays in here, I check emails and I expect them from you. Because I'm a department head and do a lot of things, I can get 100 emails in a day. So it's very easy for emails to get lost. So this is a good compact way for me to keep track of them. You'll see there's an instant message feature here. If you want to instant message your friends, go to town. But please don't page or instant message me. Unless I've messaged you, you can respond to me that way. But if you're like, oh, Miss Cote, I have a quick question, don't hit instant message. It gets on my nerves. I don't like it. It's a little too informal. It's hard for me to add things I might need to answer your questions, such as videos or files or that kind of thing. So it's just not the way to go. And then if you want to print something, you can print the class list here. The help thread here, or the help link, has something about MLA formatting, APA. We'll use either of those. I don't really care when we get to that. Netiquette, this is how not to be a jerk online. Brightspace is to help you out with things in the course. They're a very good resource, and if you're having trouble and you call Brightspace, they are the group that does sets the course up. Boy, they can solve a lot of problems for you. There's a cheat sheet here on how to use Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Slides. Here at the Windsor Essex Catholic Board, we use an educational G Suite for Tools to Go. Some of you might use Microsoft 360. Some of you might have nothing, but any Gmail account will work the same way. So if you like the look of the things that are coming up here and you don't have a board sanctioned Gmail account, you can get a Gmail account just through Gmail. Resources. Here's where the FAQs are. I use these a lot, and I might add other things to the resources. But I have questions. Some of them are already here because kids have asked them in my previous online courses, right? Sometimes you have to respond to people. What do you do? Some tips and tricks that I've added in the past that might be useful for you. Something about peg marks. The first thing that you might want to look at is how to use Flipgrid, because I'm asking you to use Flipgrid in the privilege introductory assignment that's coming out. So that's what the course looks like. You can also check your email up here, and if you have an email, you'll get a little alert, a little red button. Here are the notifications. You'll get a little red dot there, and then these are the some of the subscription alerts that you might have. I don't know whether you'll use those or not. That's a little thing where you can look at your own profile. I get to see as a student or a teacher, you don't, but your profile is there. I suggest you turn on notifications so that you'll know if anything changes in the course. You can also see how you're doing, looking at your progress. So there are lots of students who are afraid they've missed something. Don't email me and ask me if you've missed something. Instead, go and take a look at the progress, and you can see that there. So the last thing I'm going to say is when you email me, it should be something you don't want anybody else to know. So it's not something you'd raise your hand for in class. It's something like a member of your family is sick and you won't be able to get your assignment in that day, or a question about how you can improve your grade specifically. So please don't send me a question saying, Miss, have I missed anything? Miss, how am I doing? Miss, how do I find the content? Those kinds of questions belong in the help thread, because those are the questions you would raise your hands to ask in a face-to-face class, and there's some learning to be done there with other students. So I really I insist that they're here. So if you send me a question that belongs in the help threads in the first couple of weeks, I'll remind you to put them there. So tomorrow I'll probably do a little video about things like how to send emails and a little bit about netiquette and that kind of thing. But I'll stop for today, and hopefully this will help you get an idea of how to look around the course. Click everything. Nothing's going to go wrong, right? So you might as well take a good look around and see what's what. All right. Well, I hope you enjoy the first couple of days, and I will see you online soon.